community met at Dias Park to rally against gun violence, and News 12's Taylor Martin was there today. And Taylor, what message were people out there today trying to send?
From Dias Park to May Park, families, pastors, and community leaders marched to spread the message: no more silence, end gun violence. Nick Fielden is a reverend at the Augusta Unitarian Universalist Church. He came to the march with his kids because he says he wants a change for their future.
I have worries for them growing up in the United States, that the whole country struggles with gun violence. To see how schools are not safe at all. Today I'm in need. Holy Ghost power, breathe on me.
It's this energy of power, peace, and hope that members of the community left out in the open for others to hear in today's march against gun violence. Organizer Montana E. Johnson says he hopes this march inspires others to be more proactive in ending the violence.
A lot of people don't really feel it till it hit home. When it happens to somebody in their family, then they're like, oh, we need to stop the gun violence, but we need to work on this every day.
Leaders like Mayor Garnett Johnson and Reverend Larry Fryer teamed up with local businesses and local pastors to march for the future generations of Augusta. It's how Reverend Nick Fielden says each of us has a responsibility to come together to make the community safer for everyone.
It's a matter of faith for me to be here in solidarity with folks who have been most directly impacted by it.
The CSRA's crime wave recently surpassed 70 slayings since April of last year, over a handful of which have happened since the start of this year. It's especially hit Augusta hard as the biggest city in the area where most of these deaths have occurred.
Thank you for continuing to follow this, Taylor. We appreciate it. Now, moving on over to South Carolina, more charges added to Alex Wrdw just after he took the stand this week in the South Carolina murder trial. Colton County deputies issued it yesterday, but no word yet on what the specific charges are. According to Colton County's jail records, it could involve a misdemeanor with an arrest warrant drawn up by deputies. Sheriff's office hasn't said anything about what this new charge is related to. And just before the weekend, people from Orlando took time out of their night to honor the victim's loss in a tragic shooting this week. Authorities say a 9-year-old girl and news reporter Dylan Lyons were both killed on Wednesday after a suspect returned to the scene of a homicide earlier in the day. The victim in that incident was a woman named Natcha Augustin, and investigators believe the shooting was random by the lone gunman. After a moment of silence, one woman at the vigil spoke up for reporters who cover these crimes nearly every day.
We know as journalists that when we cover traumatic events, we're taking a certain amount of risk. But that doesn't mean we should expect to become the next possible victims of senseless violence.
Powerful story, and News 12 continues to send our thoughts and prayers down there in Florida. The community came together at least twice outside of that church and the UCF Nicholson School of Communication and Media to remember those lost. Coming up, a year of fighting in Ukraine is putting schools are closed and provides support groups throughout the week as well. And a place to dream with the YMCA at Greater Augusta got a chance to deliver more beds to those who need a place to sleep. Volunteers gathered around 8:30 a.m. to pack up 13 beds to give to 6 families across the county. Each delivery included a bed frame, mattress, sheets, a stuffed animal, a Bible, and a bag of snacks for each family. Volunteers say they reached a milestone in providing 1,500 beds so far with Area Housing Authority partners. Great stuff there. Well, coming up, they're the easiest gift to give around the holidays, and they're also the easiest to steal from. See how some hackers steal gift cards without snatching the card after the break.
And we are trying to get some areas of patchy fog around the region. We're talking about a cool and cloudy night ahead. More in the forecast coming up in just a bit.
Well, why should you call a lawyer after a car accident? Well, let me tell you. Without a lawyer, you might not get the money you deserve or the medical care you need. But car crash victims with a lawyer get better access to medical care and over 3 times more money on average than those without one. I don't want to see you settle for less. Call me. I'm Austin Jackson, your guy in Augusta, and I'll shoot you straight. Call Austin Jackson, the Augusta guy, 706-724-7224.
Looking back towards last night, the rainfall was heavy. We picked up over 2 inches at Bushfield and Daniel Field Airport, almost an inch north of Augusta, and then for Edgefield, Aiken, and Saluda, you guys picked up about just under half an inch for most of those locations as well. Rainfall chances do stay on the isolated side for the first part of the work week, but as we head towards Thursday into Friday, they begin to tick up for us, which could be good because the pollen count is going to be very high for the majority of this upcoming week, and rainfall definitely going to be needed with those higher pollen counts around. As far as last freeze days, talking about that very quickly, the potential to maybe see another freezing start in the morning could be in store for us as we head through March into April as well. So as of now, the next 7 days we'll stay well above freezing in the morning, but heading back into the weekend, by Saturday we could be starting off in the 40s for your Saturday morning.
Thanks for the heads up, Mikkel. Well, maybe you got one for Valentine's Day, or maybe you still have not used your gift cards for the holidays in December. But there's a troubling trend hitting consumers. Gift cards hacked into and drained before you even get to use them. Lexi Sutter explains.
Pretty exciting.
That was Sydney Pollock's reaction after receiving a $100 gift card from her grandparents last year. Tracking every penny, she used it a few times until she went to a San Francisco bookstore to spend her remaining balance.
I knew there was money left on it, and it was declined. Have no idea what happened to it.
Where did Sydney's money go? There's a good chance someone stole it.
If this is happening to me, I'm not the only person.
She's right.
I checked it and it said the balance was zero.
NBC Responds and Responde teams across the country have heard from many.
The lady tried it a couple of times, swiping it, and it wouldn't go through.
Like Nancy Marinero out of Elgin, who told us after buying a gift card this past holiday season, someone swindled me and stole $499.50. A lot of money. In fact, the Federal Trade Commission estimates gift card losses amount to tens of millions of dollars each month. Retailers are seeing it too.
There are groups out there that this is all they do.
The National Retail Federation, a trade group that represents the country's stores, says gift card fraud is rising.
I've seen investigations that we've had amateurs all the way to large-scale criminal organizations.
Normally, we don't show you criminals' methods, but here we feel like we have to help you protect yourself. So here's how it works. Crooks grab gift cards off the rack. They write down the numbers and pins, then put the cards back. Using computer bots, they wait to see if money has been loaded onto the card, and if it happens,
They now have access to that card and that PIN with a value that they can then use online.
Another method, Johnston says, thieves tampering with cards. Using stickers, they'll replace the barcodes and PIN labels with their own. So when you load money onto the card in your hand, your money actually goes onto a card in the crook's hand. Scammers in Canada tried that very method, but picked the wrong target.
Well, I'm an ex-police officer.
Michelle Law spotted some tampered gift cards in a store.
You can feel the sticker. It has a little bit of a ridge on it.
And posted this video on social media to warn consumers, garnering millions of views.
Went viral for all the right reasons.
With the rising fraud reports, stores and gift card companies are responding. Some retailers are putting cards behind the counters. Gift card companies are improving packaging, like sealing gift cards to prevent tampering. Either way, advocates say it pays to take the time to inspect a card before purchasing or after you received one.
Kind of feel it, look at it, visually inspect it. I mean, for 20 seconds, it will save so much hassle on so many people.
All right, Grandma, Grandpa, I promise I'm going to spend those gift cards soon. But coming up in sports, it's survive or go home. Alyssa Lyon has who's moving on in the GSA State Basketball Tournament coming up next. And as we head into break, here's a live look at New York City with your winning lotto numbers.
The accident was not my fault.
When you're injured, you need help fast. Call George Sink Injury Lawyers.
All night.
You need someone that's gonna fight for you. Call now.
Call George Sink Injury Lawyers at all night. It's bow time.
On your sideline, sports brought to you by the Hawk Law Group.
It's tournament time in the CSRA, and either the road ends here or you head to the next exit. Gas up, hop in, it's time for a ride to see who's left. We start closer to Gray Way, west side, welcoming Sumter, DeMarco Middleton, Kalen Hudson, bada bing, bada boom. 33 between you and me works so nice. Let's try it twice. 77-44. Whose house? There we go. Last ditch effort from Sumter. A for trying. And then we got a B plus for this guy in the quarter. He says it best, how sweet it is to move on from 16 to a pool of 8. Westside stays alive, 82-49. Had to stop for gas for this one. Literally, someone left it on empty. No worries. The backs had an extra tank. Taji Hawes from the hall. My mom always says to drive on the defensive. The lady backs did nothing but hit the gas in sport mode. 51-43 until they took a little bit off the pedal. Monroe went on a 5-point run to put them within distance. The clock was faster than the ETA, and the Lady Backs are moving on to the 3A Region 4 Elite 8. I bet you thought we were done, not a chance. On to the boys we go. Trailing Monroe, not for long. Catch him outside. The kill cop sticks it like a kebab. Tie game. His number's 0, but he just got 2. Go ahead and wave your pom-poms. Monroe stayed within 2 of the backs for the first half before the Red just took over. Maybe should get a bus or maybe not in this economy. Backs are moving on to the 3A Region 4 Elite 8. I forgot to bring snacks for the drive. Won't make that mistake again. Thanks, buddy. Grovetown Showdown. Why don't you just cool down after that 3? Hey, imagine Battleship, but it's the only thing you can hit is 3s. That was this game. Bashawn Ferguson got one, so did Marst. And to make it even, coach is having some fun. 1 + 2, what is that? Yes, you guessed it, 3. And if you add 5 more, I'll do the math for you. It's 8. The Warriors are back in the Elite 8. And also, shout out to Darion Reed. He made it to a benchmark 1,000 points at Grovetown this evening. Once the Jacks got started, it was hard to stop on homecoming. It's hard to believe this is the last season. We'll hear the names Tyshawn Crawford, Miguel Arnold, Tyree Myers, and Darren Lucas White, who have all scored more than 1,000 points in their career in Augusta Blue. Every Jack scored in their 99-73 win over Clayton State. They're the Peach Belt co-champions. With the Pacers, nothing like sharing it with your neighbor, right? The Pacers secure the Peach Belt's top spot with a 83-74 win over North Georgia. They will have the #1 seed heading into tournament play. This season, the Pacers kept a 21-7 record, their best since 2018. Just before we go, Augusta Christian defeated Cardinal Newman's 47-44. The Lions go back-to-back in the SCISA 4A state championship. Congratulations, Lions. Way to send it off.
Definitely. A lot of good basketball and talented teams around the region, so congrats to all of them being competitive out there. As far as rainfall, we did pick up just under 1/10 of an inch in Augusta, not too much in Aiken. We'll talk more about rainfall chances in the forecast one last time coming up.
Answers to your legal questions.